Hi, this is Reverend Dr. Nadine Rosechild-Sullivan, and I'm coming to you today on our last recording before New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So this is the last recording I'll be making for you in 2020. And as I come to you tonight, I want to wish you a very happy, healthy, and prosperous New Year. And I know that there are challenges to that. I know that we still have some rough sailing up ahead today on Sunday, December 27th, because Donald Trump refused to sign the bipartisan disaster relief bill. What's happened actually is that today jobless benefits ran out for millions of Americans. The government is set to shut down tomorrow night at midnight, Monday night at midnight, and there is an end on the eviction moratorium if it's not signed. And so there's really, really difficult times for people. Furthermore, as we look each week at the statistics, we have now reached in the globe 81 million cases, and we have reached 1,770,000 deaths. And 1,770,000 deaths, which is an increase in this week alone of 557,000 cases and a day, and of 10,000 deaths a day around the globe. 71,413 deaths this week globally attributed to the virus, right? And so and also in the United States, we have hit, according to NCOVE 2019.live, 19,495,000 deaths. I'm sorry, 19,495,000 cases, thankfully not deaths, which is an increase this week of 1,270,000 cases and of 181,000 cases a day. And 4 deaths in the United States. We have reached 340,680 as of about 3:30 this afternoon. And that is an increase of 16,000 deaths this week and an average of 2,300 deaths a day. The CDC in the New York Times article has released on the 16th of December said that deaths nationwide are 19% higher than normal from March 15th to December 5th, and that the analysis shows that 377,000 more people than normal have died in the United States in this 3/4 of a year. And this number may represent an undercount since death statistics are still being updated and reassessed, right? So we're also, yesterday, they had a new case count of 225,930, or 225,930 people. So cases and, just astronomical, which is all to say that we still have some rough sailing up ahead. There's a new variant in England. It's more contagious. It does not appear to be more deadly, but it's not less deadly, and it's easier to catch. And planes still fly in from England, and there's no reason to suspect that it's not here. And so, or to expect that it's not here or won't be here momentarily. So we need to continue to be really careful. We need to continue to wear masks. We need to continue to wash our hands. We need to continue to distance. We need, it's hands, face, air, space, right? We need to stay, not share air with people, stay back. Even those we know and love, if they're not actually quarantined with us, extend, if there's coming and going, we just need to take that extra measure of precaution. But there is light at the end of our tunnel. There are good vaccines that are proving to be safe and proving to be effective. There are relatively few side effects, nothing more than an average flu vaccine might cause, a little, maybe a little bit of fever for some people or a sore arm, nothing bad. There's no nano chip in it. It's just a vaccine and it looks like good technology. The mRNA technology does not change your DNA. It's just about this little piece of protein off of the virus that is, a dead thing that is then, something your body can mount an immune response to. So there is hope ahead, there is change ahead, there is going to be a getting this thing under control. Things do look like it's possible that as winter turns into spring and spring turns into summer, that we may be much better positioned for getting back to normal. So it's not a normal New Year's as far as our New Year's resolution, but it will be, right? The better days are up ahead. And so it is time to assess and to ask yourself if you're moving forward with your life. Are you doing those things that you want to do, that you came to do, that you're here to do, things that are important to you? Are you bringing them to the fore? And so maybe it's not the New Year's where you make the resolution to go back to the gym because, being at the gym can be problematic if it's possible or not possible right now for you. But are you on your path? Whatever that path is there a workaround? Is there a way for you to be doing something now that's building toward as we get back to things really actually safely being able to open up? Are you moving forward? Sometimes the only way through something is through it. And, having been pregnant 3 times, you reach a point as a person gestating another human being, and that human being has gotten quite large inside, and your back hurts, and everything just sort of, you just get to this point where you come to the place where, as much as you don't want to face labor and delivery and whatever that may mean, recovery from a C-section or vaginal birth, whatever that may mean, as much as you don't want that, you just get to the place where you're like, let's get it over with. Let's go do it. Let's go, no matter how many hours this takes, no matter how much let's just go, like, I need this baby out, right? You just reach this point. So it's the way of getting through it. And we're getting through this, and we're most of the way through. We're really coming around to a new day, to a new time. We will get back to normal. There is hope. There will be vaccine. There is vaccine. It will get it distributed. Eventually, you and I will get ours, and we'll get our booster, and it's going to work, and we're going to be able to become much more normal again, whatever that looks like, and get back to living our lives more fully. But are you on your path? What are you doing in that regard right now? So I want you to take your eyes for a moment off of the stuff around us and put them back, focus them on your goals, because it takes focus, it takes determination to make our way forward, to do things, to accomplish things. And so I want to remind you that time is precious. People were telling me about a new movie out on Disney Plus. I think it might have been called Soul. And I will, I have to go check it out later. But they were describing to me the main character as, someone who had this death experience. And then, the thing that he discovers is just how precious life is and how precious time is. And so we want to use them. There's a question that I ask in a number of ways, and I'm going to do one of them now. But sometimes at the end of one particular class, I will ask my students, like, last day of the term, I will ask my students to take out a piece of paper and to sit down and to write their autobiography, but not from birth to now, but make themselves be, in their mind's eye, 90, 100, 101 years old, sitting in a rocking chair. I tell them, you're still, you still have good skin, you can still think, still cognitive, still ambulatory, still able to move around, walk around, but you're sitting in your rocking chair at the end of your life, a long life, a healthy life, looking back across that life and asking about time. Did I spend it well? And that's the question, right? There's like, in their autobiography, biography, they are then supposed to write what they did with the years between this day in 2020, or whatever term it is, right? This day and the end of their life. What did you do with your time? This gift of time. We think about how we spend money. whether we do it well or not, whether we stop ourselves or not, we think about money as something that can be spent down and that has to be re-earned. And we think about the flow of money. We tend not to think about the flow of time, and we therefore often waste time. And I don't mean that we should work 24/7, but I do mean that, are you doing what you want? Are you doing what you love? Are you doing what you came to do? Are you giving what you came to contribute? Are you experiencing what you came to experience? What do you do with those years? And so I'm asking 20-year-olds, approximate 20-year-olds usually, to go from 20 to 80, 90, 100 years old, to move forward across those 8 decades and say what they did. Where did they go? Did they partner or not partner? Did they have children or not have children? Did they have grandchildren or great grandchildren? Did they climb Mount Everest? Did they go invent something new? Did they become, a doctor, lawyer, scientist? What did they want to be? What did they want to do? And so I'm asking the 20-year-old to focus on spending time and making intentional decisions about how you spend time. Where do you want to be on December 27th to 2021? We certainly want to be able to be with our family and and friends in an unmasked way, right? We want to be back to some, even if we do, some things differently as a culture, we still want to be, we want that new normal, right? An improved normal over the one we've been living. This has been a really hard year. It's been hard for those who lost jobs, and is hard for those who lost are now losing their unemployment benefits, lost them today. It's hard for those, who have waited in food lines. So there are people hungry and homeless and jobless that were not at the start of this year, that this pandemic has done this. There are also, there's others who were, bored at home or lonely in the midst of isolating and physically distancing. There are others who, have been grateful to be able to still be employed and to be working virtually, but, it's a whole different thing. Like there's stuff that happens. You don't get to exercise as much. You feel like you're sitting too long. There's a lot of things, and it's not quite the same to be with you by camera as it is to be with you in person. And people miss hugging, people miss hanging out, people miss me. I have missed restaurants, I can't even tell you. And meanwhile, the restaurants are struggling to survive, and the government has not, under the Republicans, has not done what they could have done, should have done, said they were going to do, didn't do for restaurants and for those industries, right? For those, especially those mom and pop places that I really enjoy and that I hope survive. And the best I can do is order some takeout. There's that. So there's been this, it's been a really difficult year, but what are we here? But this is going to change in some way or another. And what do you want going forward? Whatever you had, whatever you were building, what do you want going forward? I know, I told my family, I said, what I want for Christmas is all of us vaccinated and, and immune, right? That's what I want. And I want us to still be here a year from now together. This Christmas, my best gift is next Christmas. Is still all of us in there together. But it's bigger. So this thing reminds us that we're mortal, right? It reminds us that for all of us, time runs out. Hopefully it runs out at 101 and we were still had good skin and still cognitive and still ambulatory all the way up to that day. But however long it lasts, are you doing what you want? Are you following some sort of passion, some sort of drive, some sort of experience, some sort of contribution? What's there for you? So I want to do it. So for students, I do it that way. Take out a paper and pen and write this story. But I want, overwhelmingly, they talk about family and love, but I want for a moment to take you there in a visualization. And then we will also visualize surviving the pandemic as we do each week. But for a moment, just allow yourself to close your eyes and to focus on your breath. And as you focus on your breath, visualize breathing in peace and releasing tension. You're breathing in that peace and you are releasing the tension and allowing yourself to be mindful of your breath. You breathe in peace and you breathe away tension. And as I count from 1 to 10, just let your body relax and let your awareness drop a little deeper. When you close your eyes, the brain waves slow from beta to alpha. As I count down, you move down into theta, just allowing yourself to go a little deeper. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now see yourself sitting in a rocking chair, and you still feel good, but it is the last day of your life. You've got good skin, you've got sharp clarity of wits. Your mind is sharp. Everything works. It's just the night you'll fall asleep and find whatever's after this life. But you're sitting in your chair and you're looking out from a porch, looking out across a yard. And you're thinking about the years of your life, time, and not the time already gone. We can't do anything about the years already passed. But you're looking from December 27th, 2020, looking back to today, looking forward from today. Just allow yourself in that chair to look across the span of time between that day and today. And as you imagine, allow yourself to say, what would make me say, I spent it well? What would make that person in that rocking chair content, satisfied, full of days, full of accomplishment or joy, experience? What do you need to do? What did you come to do? What did you do? What makes you say, I spent it well? Just let the thoughts, the feelings come. What does that old man or woman in that chair want? What did they do? What did they give? To whom did they give? What did they receive? What did they experience? And visualize with me that they went from December 27th, 2020 into 2021. And as the wheel of the year turned and it became spring and summer, the pandemic was brought under. They were immunized and became immune. You were immunized and became immune. You came to the place where you were confident the vaccine was good. Others around you had it. It was working out. And you were free. And you were free to return to a much more normal existence. And you pursued a course. You set your vision on a goal. You achieved. You experienced. You tasted life, the fullness, the sweetness of it. You made the most. of the time you had. And you did it in a world with the pandemic past. See also that the world you did it in across those decades was a world in which corruption was reduced and all but eradicated from politics. Just see the true servants of the people rose to the forefront, led the nation forward, made good choices, led the globe forward, other nations. See that it became a world in which dictators were gone, removed, in which true democracy moved us forward, all of us forward. See, it became a world in which there was access to healthcare. See, it became a more just, more fair world for those experiencing unemployment. See, it became a world in which people became increasingly able to earn a living wage. See, it became a world in which humankind responded to the climate crisis and made a difference that allowed the species to survive and allowed you to live to that ripe old age. See that if you had or have children and grandchildren, that they also get to live out their lifespans. See, it became a world in which immigrants were treated fairly, where there was a measure of safety, protection, and order to it, but there was also opportunity to become a citizen, opportunity to not spend time in detention, just see that there was a way made, changes made, good changes made. See that the United States and other nations really came to deal with their long histories of sexism and racism and other forms of discrimination, nativism, classism, homophobia, transphobia. See that the discrimination against the disabled. See that real civil rights gains were made for humankind in those decades. See yourself having played some part, voting with conscience, voting with educating yourself, voting in other ways, engaging in the civic sphere, making your contribution, however large or small, but intentionally, being part of a people governing themselves well. And picture that a circle of light surrounded you and your family, you and yours, your nearest and dearest, those you love and need most. Through the pandemic, kept you safe from harm, other harms, kept you safe as things became more just and fair, kept you safe until they were, kept you safe across the lifespan. A circle of energy, of divine light, however you envision the divine or the source, the creation, the beginning, that from which you spring, that to which you return. See that you are kept safe and whole and well. See that circle of light encompassing you and yours, keeping you safe. And see, when the pandemic passed over, see you and yours were still standing, whole and well, embodied, fully recovered. Any who caught the contagion, kept from the contagion, coming out the other side, delivered. And just feel the feeling of having had the opportunity to live your life out and having used it well for all of the purposes it can serve, for the service of others and for the enjoyment of yourself, maybe in some service to your sense of the divine. Whatever there is for you, just feel that, see that, Take hold of it and now see that it is your desired end result, and heighten the feeling of having it, having that good life, long and healthy, making it through this time into a time of peace and prosperity and abundance. See full abundance of food in your life, and shelter and clothing and needs met and bills paid and everything you need. Healthcare, honorable living wages. Just see whatever you most earnestly desire, your vision for you. And as you take hold of it, believe also for those around you. Expand your circle to include your acquaintances, your friends, acquaintances, co-workers, employers, whomever there is, your area, your state, your region, your country. Of just see reaching out that glow of light and protection to get us through everything that has happened in this. Could be foreseen with mismanagement and could have been altered with good management. So see good management stepping in and making the change. So envision as you come back today, you and yours and me and mine, the pandemic being past, and you living a life of purpose, on purpose, for the sake of that old person sitting in the chair, living in such a way that when that day comes, you can say, I spent it well. Happy New Year. Make some resolutions any old way. And all the best to keeping them, always a challenge, but take hold of a vision for a future and a hope. We are coming around. We are going to come out the other side of this. And when we do, you will be standing. What will you be accomplishing? What will you be enjoying? Remember that old person in the chair. Until next week, Happy New Year.